meeting at 7:01. Please call the roll.
All right. Larson.
Here.
Bell.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Callahan absent, and Tillman.
Here, we have a quorum. Entertain a motion to open the public hearing, to conduct a public hearing concerning the intent of the Board of Park Commissioners to sell not to exceed $2,500,000 in general obligation limited tax park bonds for park purposes. The public notice is hereby given at the Batavia Park District, Kane County, Illinois. We'll hold a public hearing on the 19th day of November 2024 at 7:00 p.m. The hearing will be held in the Civic Center, 327 West Wilson, Batavia, Illinois. The purpose of this hearing will be to receive public comments on the purpose to sell bonds of the district in the amount not to exceed $2,500,000 for the payment of land condemned or purchased for parks, for the building, maintaining, improving, and protecting of the same and existing land and facilities of the district, for the payment of expenses incident thereto.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Gray, second by Bell. Please call the roll.
All right. Gray.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Callahan absent, and Tillman.
Aye. Motion carries. We are in the public hearing. Anybody who wants to come forward, you only have 3 minutes to talk. Nobody is here, so entertain a motion to close the public hearing at 7:03. I'm good, right?
So moved. So moved. Oh, second? Someone already did?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear it.
Motion by Gray, second by Bell.
I second that first motion.
You need a roll call for that? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, please call the roll.
Sure. Gray.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Callahan absent, Tillman.
Aye, motion carries. Please stand for the pledge.
Thank you. Great.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. Any items to be added, removed, changed from the agenda?
There are not.
Cool. Entertain a motion to establish the consent agenda as follows. Approval of the minutes for the regular board meeting October 15th, special board meeting October 22nd, paid expenditures, expense approval report, investment summary, income statement, and purchases.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Gray, second by Bell. Please call the roll.
Gray.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Callahan absent, Tillman.
Aye, motion carries. Item number 7. Guest matters from the public. See, now I'm going to wait for like a while.
Did you want to approve the consent?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as established.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Gray, second by Bell. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now matters from the public. Still waiting. Nobody. We'll move on. Matters from commissioners. You guys got anything?
I have none.
Got nothing?
I missed the breakfast. How was it? Anything to report?
The mayor's breakfast?
The mayor's
breakfast was good.
My work does not care that I have things on my calendar that are fun to do in town. Just put things right on there.
So the mayor will be giving the same presentation tomorrow for the Batavia Senior Citizens Club at Shannon Hall.
Cool. Anything else? You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
You good?
Think about it.
Okay. Let's know.
Item number 9, correspondence. So there are 2 things of correspondence. I wanted to point out that both of them are because of really, really good customer care service from our staff. Both of them are just over and above. One of them is a transcript of a voicemail received thanking Alex for some work on some trees. There was apparently some trees that were damaged or rotted or whatever right backing up to his property, and he called out. Alex actually went over there, talked to him. Boom, next thing you know, trees are gone. And then there is a letter from Joanne Spitz about an issue. I guess there was a broken board in a bridge somewhere.
Yep, down by the quarry.
Yeah, and next thing you know, boom, board fixed. So outstanding customer care and service being acknowledged by the folks here in town. So hopefully both of those will be on file.
Is that our strike squad?
Yes.
Yes. Strike force, yes.
Yeah.
Did you rappel down from a helicopter to that tree?
No, I love it. No, the transcript was really cool. I love the fact that it's in like a little
Yeah, you can
like
tell it's a
thing,
bubble.
like
Yeah.
a little bubble thing. So yes, I do like that. We should do that more often because that's really cool. And I love the story. It's a
Yeah.
great story. So
Great, then we'll do more of that too.
yeah. Item number 10, something that everybody waits for, is announcements.
All right, I'm just going to start this off by saying this was a last-minute change with the understudy filling
You
in.
do realize that you never give a
We did
speech
not
by
know
telling
that.
how bad you give speeches. That's not a way to start a speech.
Well,
Hey, under promise, over deliver.
There you go. There you go.
all right, here we go. Good evening, Batavia. The holiday season is upon us. Give the gift of fun and save a little money with our upcoming gift card Bruce Bucks sale starting November 25th. Receive $5 in Bruce Bucks for each $25 worth of gift cards you purchase. Purchase gift cards at the Civic Center or the Eastside Community Center. If your newly purchased gift cards are burning a hole in your pocket, use them to register for the winter programs. Winter program registration begins on Monday, November 25th and Monday, December 2nd for out-of-district registration. Registration online or in person beginning at 8:30 a.m. The winter guide is full of great programs, including ties and tiaras, summer's camp preview, educational variety, and fitness and trips. Coming up in a few weeks is Batavia's annual holiday event, Celebration of Lights. This beloved community event takes place December 1st from 5 to 7 at Peg Bond Center. Activities include craft, music from the Batavia Community Band, live reindeers, story time, The Man in Red, and the lighting of the community Christmas trees. Christmas Tree Lane continues throughout the season. The Batavia Depot Museum's holiday exhibit, Hometown for the Holidays, opens December 1st. As always, entrance to the museum is free. For hours, visit bataviaparks.org/Batavia-Depot Museum. Thank you for listening, and remember to play your way, Batavia.
Good job.
Fantastic.
Crushed it.
All right, item number 11. We are cruising. We always cruise. Staff reports.
All right, we're gonna start with Josh Wyatt.
Yeah, just a couple quick CDP updates. They finished up the concrete work at skate park today, so we're getting closer and closer every week with that. So yeah, we'll have some landscaping to finish up, obviously, and a few smaller items, but all of the bulk of the big work is pretty close to being.
Do we get a lot of calls and questions about when that thing's going to be done?
I do.
Because
There's been a lot of
I
stuff on
mean-
Facebook about it too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be a lot of buzz and excitement about it now that they know that there's going to be something there.
Yeah.
You know.
Certainly, everybody's excited about it.
Awesome.
Regionally too, I've ran into people at Park Island from out of town, and they're excited for it. So it's going to be a great
Yeah.
addition.
Awesome.
for sure.
Remind me of the date of the open house.
The ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's in-
Actually, that's something I was gonna talk to you about in my report.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be in-
Never mind, we'll wait.
Yeah. It's
Don't
like
ruin the
April.
surprise.
It's like April.
Yeah, I put it in
I thought
my-
it was spring.
I put in my email to the board because I was hoping that we could choose the date. So I was thinking that if we could match it with the Easter egg hunt, and we could have the egg hunt
Oh.
at Clark Island, and the rain date would
That's
be
smart.
April 26th. So we have to get it in before May 1st,
Mhm.
but we need that extra time in the spring to make sure we've got it.
Easter's kind of late this year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
end of April. The Easter egg hunt's on April 12th. Yeah.
Okay.
So if that sounds good to the board,
I think getting people to come out there is a great idea.
great.
Yeah.
It's one of
It'll be exciting.
yeah.
All right, April 12th it is.
Great. Thank you.
12th and 26th is the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, can you one less post-it note on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the shade structures were installed at the
Oh.
pickleball courts.
Okay.
So that was the final ticket on that as well. So that's looking excellent. We did a punch list item a couple weeks ago, our punch list walkthrough, and a couple small items to finish up. And other than that, we're looking good there. And then the Peg Bond Center roof was finalized too. So yeah, we're plugging along.
Even with the colder weather, are people out there on the pickleball courts?
Oh yes. Yeah.
People are out there all the time, yeah.
Are the shade structures perhaps a picture of that coming?
Doesn't feel like.
I mean, I think
No.
Oh, we did that last month, but,
With the
if
new
you want
shade
the
structures?
actual-
I don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
You could go
The
drive.
shade structures were just
What?
installed last
We can provide it
week. I
next
don't
month. How about
think
that?
so.
Whatever, that'd be great. I would like to see that.
I wanted to see if they had a picture, but I didn't want to ruin it. So I assumed Allison had one.
Yeah.
That's
Actually,
why I
do
just
for next month.
asked.
Okay.
I just asked.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
were having a side
I
conversation.
ruined it.
That's all I got.
But
Thank you.
last month, we just had the conceptual drawing of what it looked like. And then next month, we'll show you that.
Roger will
Okay,
go.
fine, you don't have to drive.
We can also
Thank you.
drive out
So
there.
far. Field trip.
I'm just saying, we can
Again,
also,
it's on
we
both sides. I'm gonna go out there.
have a pickleball game.
No bother.
Yeah, I got no buffer.
Just wait till it's 4 women, John.
All right, Kim. Director of Parks, Kim.
All right, we're just, the last few weeks, we've been working on wrapping things up before the snow flies, which is coming pretty soon, and the cold temperatures dropping. So we've been working on miscellaneous projects, of course, the leaves as usual, but also organizing the back of the shop. We're trying to get some organization done back there. And we've been edging and mulching our parks this fall. Having the time to do that. We've been able to get out there before it started raining, so do quite a bit of that. We've actually had the opportunity to get the new skid steer attachment, the side-arm brush cutter out the last few weeks, which has done an amazing job on the trailways and the Clark Island shoreline, which has not been done for a few years, so, because it takes so much manpower, and it was nice to finally get it done, so it works beautifully.
Awesome.
So just wanted to thank you guys for that support, and that's all I got.
Awesome.
Great, thanks, Kim. And moving on to Lynn Borman.
All right, so open enrollment ends on Friday for employees. Be happy to get that done. And Aflac came out and talked to the employees. It seems like there's a lot that are interested in it. We're having them come back one more day on December 9th. So we're excited about that because we did it as a district. We get, employees get a 40% discount since it's coming from Batavia district and not actually them just going and calling Aflac themselves. So a lot of employees seem to be interested, and she's coming back on the 9th to do another meeting. So we'll see how many more sign up for that. We attended the Chicago Top Workplace event on November 13th, and it was great. It was fun, and we moved from 97 to number 45, so we're excited about that, moving up the right way.
Great
And-
picture, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great picture, yeah.
I thought the coloring with the neon lights, if I
Yeah.
could do a request for next year, would be maybe the
I
backdrop
thought
was
it
a little bit
I
longer.
thought it was a nice picture.
Well,
Yeah. We can't just say it's a nice picture.
we gotta talk about those
I
neon
thought it was
lights.
a nice picture.
And well, believe it or not, we're gonna start recruitment for the summer seasonal staff.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
start those postings in the
That
next
is-
couple
Never,
weeks.
never
That
stop.
always shocks me, that when we do that in the middle of the winter and have it like done. That's great.
Lynn's very organized.
Yeah, absolutely.
Timeline.
Love it.
Great. And Brittany Meyer.
Awesome. I just wanted to highlight a couple new programs that we're offering. So starting in January, we're offering a new preschool open gym. So what that is going to be on Fridays for our ages 2 to 6. They can drop in with a parent, explore tunnels, slides, meet friends, parents and caregivers can socialize. So we're excited about that. We're working with Sturdy Shelter again. We're going to be offering a beer school for adults. So we're offering that too in a good program. We also have a new afternoon adventures for our New Horizons. It extends their day a little bit, so we're excited for that. And not a new program, but our popular basketball program. I just wanted to highlight, we have 80 more kids than last year in our program, so it is growing and expanding. and
I
we're
was gonna
very-
say something. So 286 kids from kindergarten through 7th. When I was coaching just the 3rd or 4th grade, we had like 160 was like the max, and it was like, then there was all sorts of drama. And that went down and so forth because of things we won't get into.
Yeah.
But it just shows the quality of our programs that we're now back even more, like almost double those numbers
Yes.
with, those programs. It's just fantastic. I was really excited to read that because that's like showing the quality of our programs over other programs that might be out there that are doing basically the same thing, but just not as well. So
Thank you. We
very
appreciate
good
that.
job at that.
Maybe
Thank you.
basketball's really catching on.
I think the sport's going to
I
stay.
think it might.
I think it's around for a
Like that new
while.
pickleball.
Yeah, it might catch up to that pickleball in
Somebody actually,
popularity.
I was at Louise White tonight doing the basketball intramurals with Avery, and some of the parents in the stands were talking about how they'd done the Park District before. They said, oh, has Avery ever played? We do the Park District one, so yeah. So it was-
Fantastic.
Thank
People
you.
are talking about it.
Maybe
Oh.
Coach Tillman will come out of retirement?
No, Coach Tillman will not come out of
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well,
Yeah.
I coached basketball too.
Well,
I
then
used
you
to,
can-
and
you
so
can do
I'm
that.
very helpful during fourth grade intramurals.
You can come
It's
out.
the NBA
of
finals. It's NBA finals every day. So. Rebound.
Sorry.
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Great, and Katie Burgess is out sick today, so.
Yeah, I saw hers anyways. It's cool. Alrighty, item number 12, Executive Director's Report.
All right. It's not every month that I get to start off with a story time, but one picture will say a lot, and that is Batavia Park District was actually had a hand in solving one of the oldest forensic genealogy cases in the United States. And it started back in 1978 when a couple was remodeling their home in Batavia. And that couple had a construction company tear down their wall. And in the wall, they did find a skeleton, and that was relinquished to the police department. And the police department held on to it for a little while, and then at some point, we're not quite sure, but there was a skull that was donated to the Depot Museum in 1979, so a year later. And lo and behold, in 2021, we were able to locate that skull, and we turned it into its rightful owner, the Batavia Police Department. And that immediately went to the coroner, who did some crowdsource funding to raise almost $10,000 to take it to a DNA lab to see if they could identify the missing person. And they found out that the bones actually belonged to an Esther Granger, who was 16 years old, and she died from childbirth. And she was buried, and her family didn't know that her grave was robbed. And so the investigators believe that grave robbers took her from Maryville, Indiana, and brought her to Batavia, Illinois, where at the time in 1866, grave robbers were stealing cadavers so that they could sell them to doctors, so that doctors could learn more about anatomy. And so, people could get a pretty penny for it, but arrests were starting to be made by the police departments if they found out that someone had robbed a grave and stolen a body. So someone had planted her between the drywall of the home in order to conceal the fact that they had those bones. So lo and behold, the phone call that took place in 2021, when I called the chief of police, ended up turning into a case where even the family that was notified, because of DNA, they didn't realize that she was missing. And so it was a really heartwarming story where the closest DNA relative is the great-great-grandson of Esther Granger, and he actually was a retired sergeant from a police force, and he studied cold cases for a living. So how cool is that?
Wow.
So full circle. So again, it's not every month that I get to open up with story hour for my report, but it did involve the Depot Museum, since that's where her skull was for decades. And we're just lucky that, or fortunate that this ended up being a positive story, and one where She was cremated here in Batavia, and the mayor did a proclamation and made her a Batavia resident. And she spent more time in Batavia than she did in Maryville, Indiana. So that's a wrap. On a much lighter note, the Callahan Community Center is coming along very smoothly. The infrastructure is almost completely in place. From the picture here, you'll see that the framework is set for the offices, and actually this is the community room. To the right and to the left are the admin offices. So right now, next week, we're going to be installing the elevator shaft. So it's going to see a lot of progress. So I encourage those of you watching at home to stop by, take some pictures. You'll be glad you did. So something's happening constantly. And Josh, you've done a great job of leading the charge.
The view is incredible.
It's really,
I would say those big huge
really
windows,
stunning.
opening that up, that's really gonna be cool.
So
That is
beautiful.
so cool to see that huge opening.
And the mayor did, for the mayor's breakfast, he did take a panoramic picture of the view. And it is the most stunning part of the entire building. And it's the community room, so what better name for it? At some point too, I would like to come back to the park board to find out if you would like to have naming rights to choose the names for the different rooms. Or if you would like staff to come up with those names and bring them forward, or if you wanted to hand them down to us. But either way, since we're getting closer, I would love to hear the board's feedback. And then, Josh had mentioned it.
Good. Nice.
And if you'd like, I could do before and after for next month.
Oh, yeah.
But this is what a seamless roof looks like. And if you remember, the older roof was falling apart miserably. Time had aged it. We had quite some abatements to do on it, but this is all better now. We called Midwest Environmental, and they came and they cleaned up the area. So there's no mildew, there's no mold. It's a fresh roof and ready for the fun to take place underneath it. All ready for celebration lights. And then here's a sneak peek of our skate and bike park down at Clark Island. So you can see the framework. So this is actually, Josh, this was before, here you can pick up.
Yeah, this is before the concrete has been laid, so this was just the framing of the actual skate park. The pump track has been completed as well, just to the south of that. If you go down there now, it's all cement. So yeah, it's looking great. So.
But we want to give you something for next month
very cool.
to chew on. And then, as we mentioned, the Batavia Park District was named a Chicago Tribune Top Workplace. And the keynote speaker at this particular event that was held on November 13th had mentioned that that this is a very difficult time for workplaces and for morale. That this is actually overall the lowest that morale has been in their employment engagement surveys post-pandemic. And so they really congratulated all of the companies and businesses, organizations that received it this year, because they said it was no small undertaking. So they said it was actually, they had over 6,000 surveys that went out, and it was the lowest number of top workplaces they've ever handed awards to.
Oh, wow.
So I did leave a copy of, they called it the Great Gloom, at your seats, so you can take a look at it. And yeah, even the cover says, employee happiness is lower than it was during the darkest days of the pandemic, and the most effective companies are tackling the problem head on. So that's even more reason why the staff and I have been celebrating, because we understand that, especially being in local government, we can't give out perks that corporate America can give out. We can't give out Thirsty Thursdays. Or
They don't do that anyway, there's no perks. Don't worry.
No? There's not even like a free Thanksgiving turkey anymore, right? You used to get like the coupon for
Right.
turkey.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
But but we've never been able to do those things because we're great stewards of taxpayer dollars, so we have to get really creative on how we congratulate staff. So I just again wanted to celebrate and congratulate the leadership team for spearheading efforts, and just our entire seasonal part-time and full-time staff, because the quarry staff, the camp staff, every single one of them had the opportunity to take the employee engagement survey. And, and I want to give Lynn Foreman credit too, because she made sure she went down to the quarry, she went down to camp. Okay guys, you need to take this survey, it's really important, we want your feedback. And I've been working closely with Lynn on making sure that we're making changes. We review the results and we pivot, we adjust accordingly.
See, that's the key, is that, getting feedback is one thing, but then acknowledging that feedback and reacting to that feedback in a positive manner is a whole nother thing. That's what makes the next survey better and the next one after that. And so, where I work, they do a survey every month, and if they don't react to it, then it's going to be on there the next month and the month after. So it's like, that really shows that, you're doing something and responding. It's not just vapor that, take the survey, it's actually doing something. So, I mean, huge kudos
Feeling heard.
to.
We do one where I work, we do one every 2 years. So it's
Yeah,
different
but
vibe.
see, what is that? But see, that's the point.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point there. Is that what you're saying
Yeah.
about your company versus companies that do a survey on a regular basis and react to those surveys
Yeah.
shows a huge difference in morale and the company spirit and what you feel about going to work every single day. And you got to work, you're working more than you're any place else, right? Because you're home for a certain amount of time, then you're sleeping, and then you're working, and so it's like, if you're not happy going to work, that's miserable. So, kudos.
We keep tying
Excellent.
it back too, so like during
Yeah.
open enrollment, I'll remind them like what changes are happening because of that.
Yeah,
Like we
absolutely.
constantly are having the conversation, so it's not just
Top of
Survey
mind.
action.
So we
Keeps
so they
it fresh.
see that there's an action to anything and obviously we can't do everything, but when they do bring things to our attention, then we're able to.
But not doing
work with it
everything,
and
doing
do something
everything,
to try.
you're not going to make everybody happy, right? So,
Right.
but you can do the important things. You can do some of the things. Low-hanging fruit can get taken care of. Some of these little things mean a lot to a lot of people. So yeah, excellent.
They sure do, and I do want to give the board props as well, because there are times, last year where Lynn and I went before the board and we brought the holiday policy forward, and the board added floating holidays. And so the board has been incredibly supportive, especially with our policies. That's what we lean back on when people are questioning when we did black and white. We're like, okay, this is cut and dried right here. It says this. And so things like the floating holidays, it was a great
Yeah.
incentive for people.
Absolutely.
And then that way, if somebody's a veteran and they want to take off Veterans Day, they have that opportunity.
Without any fear of like missing a day or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. And then that's a wrap.
Oh, outstanding.
Please, and then a great.
Yeah, right?
Unexpected.
Bright light. All right. Item number 14, new business approval of ordinance number 428, levying assessment and collection of taxes. So for this, is there a discussion? Do we entertain a motion first, or what do we have?
So this is the annual approval of the tax levy. Last month was the approval of the draft of the tax levy. And I guess I could just reiterate that the levy captures the consumer price index, which we call the CPI. And it also includes the new construction in Batavia, so we're not leaving anything on the table.
And this is that thing where we go for 5% or the CPI, whichever is less. And if we don't ask for the 5%, then we miss out on the new growth and some other things.
Yep.
Get it back later.
And we can't get it back later.
Right.
And so
But we are capturing all
we
of
are
it.
capturing all of it because we asked for something, and just because we ask for it doesn't mean we don't understand we're not going to get that. We understand that it's a CPI, which is usually lower than the 5%. So, excuse me, this is, 3.4%. All right, so entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 420, levying assessment and collection of taxes as presented.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Gray, second by Bell. Please call the roll.
Gray?
Aye.
Bell? Aye. Larson?
Aye.
Callahan absent. Tillman?
Aye, motion carries. All right, item number 14B is the award of contract for custodial services. I'm going to entertain the motion, then I have a question after that. So, entertain a motion to award a contract for custodial services for 2025 to Echo Clean Maintenance for the total amount of $85,260.
So, second.
Motion by Gray, second by Bell. So in looking through this, I know there's an escalating amount here in 2026 as an extension. I believe that has to come through us first, or is it already part of the contract?
No, every year we will come back
Yeah.
and renew through.
And then one of the things that I saw in here that so the Callahan Community Center is included in this
Correct.
for 2025, 2026. There's going to be way more Callahan Community Center in 2026 than there is in 2025.
Right.
Did the bid reflect all of that growth?
Yeah, we put in July through
Oh,
December for
okay.
next year, and then 12 months for
Oh,
the following 2 years.
Okay,
Yep.
of more space and,
Yep.
you know,
Absolutely.
there's more trash cans, everything else has to be done.
Yep, more.
Because everything's going to be moved in there.
Absolutely.
So, excellent, okay, cool. That was the only question I had on that. Did anybody else have any
That's a great
questions?
question.
On that? So we have a motion on the table by Gray, seconded by Bell. Please call the roll.
Gray.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Callahan absent, and Tillman.
Aye, motion carries. All right, 14C, IAPD member credentials, annual meeting designations. So, this is to appoint the commissioner name
With an alternate.
as, and an alternate name, to be representatives at the annual meeting of the IAPD in January, right?
Yes.
January? January?
The meeting is to be held Saturday, January 25th,
January.
2025 at 3:30 p.m.
What is that we're doing? This is the alternate?
The
This is
IAPD
a
Business-
primary person and an alternate to attend the meeting on the Saturday afternoon of the annual conference downtown in January of next year. Looking for volunteers.
Same.
Are you? I've done it. You know,
I think that you guys did it last year, didn't you?
No, I couldn't do it.
isn't that something? Kinda lines
But
up.
I was volunteered when I didn't make this meeting. So isn't that usually the
No,
protocol?
no.
When somebody isn't present, they're the ones they're the nominated person?
Yeah, but we kind of say if you haven't done it yet, you know, there is that though too, so.
I thought that the person that wasn't there, that,
Right, I'm hearing what you're saying.
That's really the pressure.
It still goes back to what I'm thinking. This is just me, I'm just talking. That, you know, if somebody hadn't done it,
It might need a turn.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're just talking over here
yeah.
and coming back this way.
Julie, want to do it?
I can certainly
I nominate-
pretend to do it.
I nominate Commissioner Bell to do it. Can we nominate people?
Yeah.
I nominate Commissioner Bell to do it.
Oh,
we just had a volunteer.
I mean,
Really, did you?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
I nominate Commissioner Bell as an
She doesn't
alternate.
know she can be there. She'll
I was
do
gonna
it.
say, I mean, I'm a little in flux these days.
But that's why we have an
But I
alternate.
can certainly.
That's why we have an
And
alternate.
I will be your secondary.
There you go. All right,
I
so
said I was gonna be.
entertain a motion. Yeah, she's crossing her fingers. She crossed her fingers behind her back, but she's shaking her hand.
She understands.
Entertain a motion to appoint Commissioner Larson as the designee and Commissioner Bell as the alternate to represent the city of Park District as voting members during the annual meeting of the Illinois Association of Park Districts.
So moved.
I second.
Motion by Gray, second by Larson. Please call the roll.
Gray.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Callahan absent, and Tillman.
Aye, motion carries.
If it's any consolation,
Someone-
I have a presentation that afternoon at
Oh,
12:30.
there you go.
Okay, if someone wants to send me a meeting notice about that to my work email.
It's during the conference.
No, it's like later.
It's in the
I
Saturday.
know,
It's
but
at the end of
Yeah.
the,
It's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Does your work calendar go to Saturday? Or
Uh,
does it stop on
Yes, but the
Friday?
wrestling calendar goes to Saturday.
Okay, well then, yeah, that's where it needs to go to. All right, so, we have 15A left, which is executive session for leasing property land acquisition 5 ILCS 120-/C 2C5, entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss the aforementioned leasing property, land acquisition stuff.
Someone?
Second.
Motion by Grace, second by Bell. Roll call, please.
Gray.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Kelman absent. Tillman.
Aye, motion carries. We are in executive session.
There we go.
Now we're good. All right. So item number 16, any other business to come before the board?
No.
Any other business to come before the board? Then I entertain a motion to adjourn the regular board meeting at 7:51.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Grace, second by Bell. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you very much. We will see you next
One
month.
time I don't have my kids at home.